This is a tutorial to give you some job search tips and also give you an idea of some resources that you can use to help you find jobs and internships. The first thing that you want to do when you're preparing for a job search is to define your job targets. So there are a few things that you want to think about before you even start looking for jobs and internships. So you really want to get to know yourself and know your strengths and your weaknesses, know what you like and don't like in work settings. Think about previous jobs that you've had and your current jobs and positions that you have, and think about the things that you've liked and have not liked within those positions, because that can tell you a lot about what you do and don't want in future jobs or internships. In addition, you also want to think about your strengths and your skills, and those can help lead you to jobs and internships that you would actually like to do. In addition, you want to think about the type of industry that you would like to work. You also want to think about specific organizations that you're interested in and why you're interested in those organizations. Think about salary and think about the salary that you would like to have and the salary that you could live with. You also want to think about geographic location. So do you have to work in a certain city? Are you willing to go anywhere? Do you want to work in a certain state? Do you need to be close to family? All of those things could make a difference in your job search. So those are things to consider when you're looking at your job target before you even start looking for jobs and internships. 80%, at least 80% of the jobs and internships that are available at any given time are not posted anywhere. So they are not on an internet job site, they are not on an organization's website, they're not in the newspaper. Rather, they're being filled through networking. So most of the jobs out there are actually being filled by promotions within an organization, but the rest are often filled through referrals. So somebody mentions that they have a job opening, their friend or family member knows somebody who might be a good fit for that opportunity. That leads that person to get an interview, which ultimately leads that person to getting the job. So that is how most jobs and internships are filled these days. However, of course, there are some other resources out there that could be very beneficial in finding jobs and internships, such as job search websites, resources through your university career center, or maybe even the newspaper sometimes. And we'll talk about more of those here in just a few minutes. When you think about how jobs are filled, think about how you secured your current position or your past positions, and also talk to other people about how they found their current job, and that can give you a better idea of some places that you might want to look when you're looking for your own jobs and internships in which to apply. This is a little bit old, but the data is still perfectly relevant. This just shows you that again, most positions are filled through referrals. However, as I mentioned previously, employers or recruiters are filling positions through postings on internet sites or their organization's website or career fairs and things like that. So this just kind of gives you a visual of how jobs and internships are often filled. As I mentioned previously, networking is huge in the job search. Networking is how most opportunities are filled within organizations, through promotions or word of mouth. That's networking. So what you really want to do is to utilize your current network that you already have, and then also work on building your network to add more people that you can turn to for advice or help in your job search. So what you'll want to do is think about those people you already know who may have information related to the field in which you're interested, or may know of job openings in the field in which you're interested, or maybe they just might know somebody who works in that field that they could get you connected with. So think about your network and really try to utilize them to help you with your job search. You also want to think about building your network, so you want to use resources like LinkedIn. You want to attend career fairs. You want to attend conferences and things like that, where you can meet new people to add those people to your network and just continue its growth. Informational interviews, or doing informational interviews, is one way to build your network and to meet strangers who can then become part of your network and can really help you with your job search. Informational interviews basically are where you're interviewing the person at the company rather than them interviewing you. So what you'll do is you'll ask for 20 to 30 minutes of the person's time. You'll have a list of prepared questions, and you'll go in to ask them about their job, about their company. So you want to ask them things like, how did you get into this field, or what made you interested in this occupation? What was the application process like? What do you enjoy most about working here? What do you find most challenging about this job? So those are all things that you cannot find the answer to on a website or in a brochure. These are all things that you would need to learn from an actual person. The important thing to remember with informational interviews is you're not going into the informational interview asking for a job. In fact, you shouldn't even ask if they have any job openings. Rather, you are just collecting information to help you evaluate whether or not this would be a good fit for you, a good field for you, a good organization for you. From that conversation, the person with whom you're interviewing may mention that they have job openings, which then of course could lead you to apply, which could lead to a job. But the ultimate purpose of an informational interview is to simply gather information, get to know a new person in the field in which you're interested, and build your network. So as I mentioned earlier when we were talking about defining your job target, it's really important to know your skills and your abilities to help you really figure out what it is you want to do. And a really great resource to help you figure that out is myskillsmyfuture.org. You can actually go in there and do a skills assessment, and it will give you some ideas of jobs that might be a good fit for you. Once you've kind of done that self-assessment and you've really defined your target that we talked about earlier, then of course you want to actually start searching for those jobs and internships. And here is a brief list of some resources that might be helpful in finding job and internship opportunities that are currently posted. We at the University Career Center have a resource that's called Careers in KU Majors, and that can be found on our website at kucareerhawk.com. If you type in that URL, the Careers in KU Majors page is listed on our featured resources. So you can just click on that link, and that will take you to a list of all of the colleges or departments that are at KU, and then within those colleges or departments you can then find a list of all of the majors here at the University of Kansas. Once you find that list of majors, you can click on the majors and get a list of career paths associated with that major, job titles, places of employment, things like that. And then on the right side of each major's page, you'll also find some links to some really helpful resources that will lead you to jobs and internships that are available in that field of study. So that could be a really helpful resource that's unique to or unique for KU students. In addition, we also have KU Career Connections, which is KU's job and internship search database, and it is free for KU students and alumni up through 6 months after you graduate. Then there is an annual fee for alums after that 6-month period. But KU Career Connections houses all of the jobs and internships that we learn about at the Career Center. So that's a great resource to take advantage of. In addition, I would recommend a resource called Indeed.com. If you haven't utilized that yet, I would definitely encourage you to do a job or internship search through Indeed. Basically what it does is you type in the type of job or internship in which you're looking, and then type in a city or state, or you can leave it wide open. You can actually also search international opportunities as well. You can pick a specific country besides the United States and do a job or internship search in a different country through Indeed. But once you type in what you're looking for and click search, Indeed's going to scan the internet for what you're looking for and find opportunities on various job boards as well as companies' websites. So a lot of times Indeed will find opportunities that you otherwise would not find on your own. In addition, through Indeed, you can actually create an account. It's completely free. It takes about 20 seconds to set up an account. Then you can set up email alerts. So if you find some keywords that are really working for you and you're finding a lot of really great internship or job opportunities through that search, go ahead and set up an email alert, so that way jobs and internships will start coming to your email inbox that are relevant to what you're looking for. So those are just a few of my suggested resources. As I mentioned, within careers and the Careers and KU Majors pages on kucorrect.com, there are a lot of major or industry-specific resources that could be very helpful. So I definitely encourage you to search your major or your area of interest through the Careers and KU Majors pages to find even more resources that might be beneficial. But I also want to mention LinkedIn, because that can be a very helpful tool in finding jobs and internships, and you can use it to, of course, build your network that we talked about previously, but you can also actually search for jobs and internships. So next we're going to watch a video that just lets you know a little bit more about LinkedIn and how you can use it. Actually, I apologize. The video is on KU Career Connections, but the LinkedIn video is actually linked on the course website. So now let's go ahead and watch the video that explains KU Career Connections.
This is a quick video to help you learn how to search for internships in KU Career Connections, which is KU's job and internship posting system. All you need to do to get to this page is type kucorrect.com/career-connections in the browser, and then you will need to log in. If you haven't registered previously, you can log in using your current KU Online ID and password. However, once you have registered, your initial username and password will be your email address and your 7-digit student ID. The reason you do want to register is it gives you full access to actually apply for jobs, internships, and interviews. Once you log in, it will take you to the home page of KU Career Connections, which gives you information on upcoming events, but today we're going to focus on searching for internships through this system. So you want to go to the Jobs tab and then click on KU Career Connections Jobs. Once here, we can search for specific positions. First, we can go to position type and search for internships. And we'll see that there are currently 521 internships posted in this system, but we probably want to get a little more specific. So if we go to more options, this allows you to search for specific internships that are relevant to what you're looking for. We can search by job function, industry, or keywords. I would suggest searching those one at a time. So if we're looking for a marketing internship, we can go to job function, come down to marketing and sales, click search, and that's going to let us know all of the internships that are currently posted in this system related to marketing and sales. Once here, you can see the title of the internship, the organization associated with that internship, the location, and then we can click on it to get the full description. As you scroll down, it also gives you information on desired majors and work authorization, and on the right, it will always tell you how to apply and give you the application deadline. Then you can always go back to look at further internships. If you would like more opportunities, or you would like to see postings that have been posted in the past, you can go to the Job Leads tab. The reason you'd want to look at postings from the past might be that you're looking for an internship in the future and you want to see what internships were posted for last summer or last fall, and then you could contact the organizations to find out if they're going to have those internships again in the future. So if you do a search, again, you could do position type. This time let's search industry, and let's do communications and media. If we search, it's going to let us know that there have been 409 communications and media internships posted in this system. Right now they're organized by posting date, and you can see that many of them have expired. If we go to the name of the internship, that will take us to the description page, and everything looks the same as the active postings, except of course there's no longer the application information. But you could still look up this organization and or contact the contact person to get more information about the opportunity and find out if it's going to be available again in the future. So those are a couple of ways that you can use KU Career Connections to help you find an internship. You can also search employers if you're looking for opportunities within a specific organization, and you can search by industry or location. So again, if we stick with communications and media and do a search, you will get all the organizations associated with that specific industry, and then you can click on the organization to get further information, including whether or not they currently have positions posted in the system or they're planning on attending any upcoming career fairs.
Okay, so that little video just gave you some general information on how to use KU Career Connections. I would definitely encourage you to go in there and do a job or internship search, because there are a lot of really great opportunities in that system, and it's closed for just KU students and alumni, so those employers are definitely looking for students from the University of Kansas. So the fourth step in the job search process, of course, is researching industries and organizations, and that is really going to help you evaluate the opportunities that you find. It's also really going to help you with the interview process as well. So a few of the things that you want to think about or look for when you're doing that research is you want to try to figure out what the industry or organization's preferred method of recruitment is. So are they really active? Are they always on campus? Are they going to career fairs? Or are they really passive? Do they expect candidates to find them rather than, they find the candidates? So what I mean by that is, do they simply just post something on their website and hope that people find it? So knowing the method of recruitment could be very helpful in figuring out how you want to go about finding jobs within that specific industry or organization. It's also helpful if you can find out more about the timeline. So when jobs are posted in a certain organization or industry, are they filled really quickly? Or is it a really long process like it is in the government? So knowing the timeline can be very helpful as well in allowing you to prepare accordingly or to be patient with the process if necessary. It's also a really good idea to know the general salary range of jobs in which you're interested, so you can be prepared for that, for negotiation, for just discussing salary in general. And then also, if you can find out information about the culture of the company, that could be helpful as well. And listed on the slide here are a number of resources that could help you find this information and to do other research on the company. So first, check out the organization's website. Click through it beyond the careers page to learn more about their culture, to learn about their latest projects, to try to find their annual report if you can. It's also a good idea just to Google the company to see if anything else comes up, to see if you can find any articles about the company, maybe reviews about the organization, maybe comparisons with competitors. So Googling can be really helpful. There are a few specific resources that could be beneficial, such as wetfeet.com, hoovers.com, and glassdoor.com. Glassdoor, for example, not only has job and internship postings, but it also provides specific salary information for specific organizations. It also provides specific interview questions for organizations, and it gives reviews of companies. So that's a really great resource that you should definitely check out. CareerOneStop.org could be helpful in researching industries and specific jobs. And then there's also a resource called the Business Journal or the Book of Lists. And most of the major cities in the United States puts out a business journal or a book of lists, and you can actually access those through KU libraries through their online site, and you do need a KU online ID and password to access those resources. But the book of lists actually gives you a list of the top companies in certain popular industries, so that could be extremely helpful, and the company's websites are also linked, so you can immediately go to the organization's website to do further research. It's also a good idea to check out professional associations that are associated with the industry in which you're interested. And then, of course, as I mentioned before, you always want to use your network. So access those people that you know to see if they know anything about the certain companies you're interested in or the industry, or to see if they can get you connected to somebody who actually works within that company or industry. And finally, the last step in the job search process, of course, is preparing your materials and actually applying. So things that you want to be prepared for are updating your resume, writing a tailored cover letter that matches the job description. And by matches the job description, I mean that you match your experience, your skills, and your qualifications with what they're seeking in the job description. So it's a really good idea to try to match your information as well as possible so you really stand out as a quality candidate. You also want to be able to interview effectively, so it's a good idea to start practicing your interviewing skills by doing mock interviews, by writing out some anticipated answers to questions so you can refer back to those if needed, knowing about salary so you'll know how to negotiate. All of those things have to go into preparation, and all of those things we will talk about specifically in class the rest of the semester, so that's something that you can be prepared for. So those are the main aspects of the job search. As I said, we'll go through all of these things more specifically in the weeks to come.